Welcome to the game.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean, this is the Game Room, and we are working on our Heavy Gear Blitz models from the two-player starter set, Battle in the Badlands, and I am working on the Crusader 4 tonight. This will be the fourth model of the Peace River set that we're putting together, and we're going to just build a straight Crusader 4. He's going to have a, I'll just show you. Let me just take you to the sprue. Let's just do it that way. Okay, our standard Crusader model, based off of our model list, Crusader 4, and he's going to have a heavy autocannon, a medium rocket pod. He's got a few other things, the LFM and the vibro blade also. So the LFM is this guy right here. Number 15 on the sprue, which is this. It's a field mortar. Sorry, the word escaped me. The heavy autocannon, which is this guy right here, that's a really cool looking gun. And the medium vibro blade, which is this one right here, this big axe. So that's going to look really cool in holding the axe, the heavy autocannon, big beefy guy. Look at the size of these legs. He's going to be a much bigger model. Now, everything that we have built so far, the sprues, again, while they're not identical, all the models are actually different. We're still looking at it roughly the same parts, except he's got bigger shoulder blades, more parts to the shoulder blades. He does have two sets of arms, only has the two legs though, and he's got, of course, the bigger torso. I'm going to go ahead and get the parts separated that we're going to use, and then the shoulders are going to be a little bit different, and as we put those together, I'll explain how they go together. So I'll be right back. Okay, now that we have all of our parts separated, we're going to put our model together. We're going to start with our armor on the legs, and first, as always, we're going to attach the butt plate. Now, the butt plate's a little different than our previous models, but it does have a nice groove, tongue and groove, I guess, where it's going to fit, like right there. Okay. So having our glue out. Place, push it together firmly. Okay, let that dry. All right. Next is our front leg armor plate. Okay, like so. And then our side armor plate. All right, and we'll duplicate that for the other leg. All right, and both of our legs done. We are going to let that sit for a couple of minutes, let those set better, And we can talk about the arms. Again, we have our options for arms, either at a slight angle or, you know, kind of like that. And then we can go ahead and put the backpack on, or the engine actually. Again, these models are really fun. They're really cool. I really can't wait to get these, to be able to start painting these. I think it's going to be a blast. And you know, like I said, once you put one together, the rest really just kind of, you know, kind of just fall together. They just kind of come together very easily as you build more and more of these. They're relatively simple and straightforward. All right, how do I position the legs? I'm gonna go ahead and there. Put them on there. Kind of give him a little bit of a wide stance. So, okay, now we'll do the other leg. And once these have just enough to stick, we're going to go ahead and position them to let them dry. Okay. To help those stay in place, our handy dandy glue dot base. Alright, we're going to let those sit and take. And while those finish drying, we'll be right back. Okay, let's talk about the shoulders real quick. There's the outer shoulder part. You have two of those. There's the inner shoulder part, and then there's the upper arm. And if you look at this closely, this is where your arm will slide into, and you can position it however you want. So the way these three pieces go together is, if you look inside here, you'll see that there is a groove on each side, and on the upper arm there's a little piece that sticks out, so it allows you to slide this right in to place. And it gives you the ability to adjust it, to move it how you want it to go. On the outside of this piece, you also have the same grooves. The outer arm has those same little notches, so that they will slide into place. Like so. Okay. Now, I would suggest you get the arm set how you want it first before you glue anything. So if I'm looking at this guy, depending on how I want it to go together, you know, he may want to be like that. I may want to move that arm piece around. How do I want this arm positioned? Do I want it higher, like so, like it's out that way? Do I want it down closer to the body? You could have him like that, like hold. Depending on how you want your your model's arm to be. And, yeah, that's kind of cool. It's like, you know, telling the force hold. You can put it down, you know, down to the side like that. You know, however you want it. And it's kind of neat because it really gives this particular model a lot of flexibility in how the arm, you know, attaches, how it's going to go together. So for me, I would, you know, get it like we've done in the other videos. We get it positioned into how we want it. What position do we want it in? So if he's going to have, a gun or whatever forward, do I want the vibro blade forward? Do you want the vibro blade up high? Maybe something like that, where he's getting ready to bring it down, and ready to strike with the vibro blade. Yeah, you have a lot of leeway with this, which is really cool. For the model, it can be a little fiddly if you're not really sure, and it took me a minute to figure it out. But it's really simple and straightforward, and you notice these pieces are staying together pretty well. So that's really the only difficult part about the arms, is just figuring out what position do you want them to be in. So I think that, as we've done with our others, if I'm going to have his right arm out, probably using this particular arm to attach the weapon to. And then I'll have probably this arm, the straighter of the two. Let me show you those two. Okay. So this arm sticks out straight, that one's kind of more down. And you know what, maybe we'll go with that one, a little more down, because I'll have it holding the X, like so. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these arms on. And to do that, I already have this one put together, but I'm not going to glue any of this. I'm only going to glue, I've got it put together, I'm only going to glue it here in the position that I want it. Okay, so and again, the whole reason for that is to let me get the arm on, and then let me do my final adjustments, and then we'll put some glue in on all of these places where these parts touch, to give them to put them all in place. Because see, that's not where I want it at yet. Okay, I'm going to let that set first. While that's starting to set, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side together. So that slides in like so, and then this will slide over it. Like that. And now I know I'm going to want this arm more pointing out, so more pointing up anyway. So let me go ahead, and I'm not gluing that in place, but I do want to make sure I get the angle correct for how I want that to be. So I'm going to make it look like he's pointing his gun out that way. So glue it like that. There. Glue on there. If I look at it from the front, that way he'll have his gun up and pointed out. Okay. So now on this side, I come back and I want to look and say, hey, how do I want that? How do I want him to hold that vibro blade? And maybe I want it down and out a little bit. However, I can position the upper arm here a little bit, just to make sure I have it in the right spot. Okay, something like that. And we'll have that arm in like so. And then I'm going to let this finish setting. I will arrange the this shoulder pad, the outer shoulder, and go ahead and glue the arms in how I want. And to do that, I'm going to let that set. I'll be right back. Okay, those have sat for a little bit. Actually, it's only been a few minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and get my arms positioned how I want them. So I think something like that will look pretty cool. Okay. So again, just how we've done the others. Go in there, a little bit there. I want to get that in there. Okay. That's it for a second. Let those weld. And then we'll do the same on this side. And then we'll glue him on. So when we come back, we'll attach the weapons and we will finish off our Crusader. Be right back. Okay, so with the gun here, like so, and the axe will be down here. So I kind of like it. And so to go ahead and attach his head. Okay, his head will be facing that way. Now he has, if I am not mistaken, in fact he has two rocket pods, which would go on each shoulder. Okay, so if you look at these are not centered, they're kind of offset, so you want to make sure that you get it the right way. That will go here. And the other one will go on this side. And again, with the attachment piece on the inside, like so. Ooh. Now, this last piece just kind of attaches in the center back here. Okay, it's going to go like that. All right, one final check. Make sure that we're good with our arm placement and shoulder pad placement, because I'm going to go ahead and cement those in place. The arms have not been glued into place yet, And I'm going to trim this down just a little bit just to make sure that I get a good fit inside of here. I want to make sure that that's touching. You're not seeing the stick sitting out. See, like right here, you can kind of see a gap. So I'm just going to trim this down just a touch. I could probably just push it all the way in and it'll be just fine. I don't want to force it any more than I have to. So get some there. Get that in there. Get that all the way in. Like so. And now to go ahead and seal the other pieces, I'm not even going to take them off. What I'm going to do is put this glue all the way around it and let it melt those pieces together where it does touch. And then that will help cement all of these pieces together. Alright, while we let that dry for a second. Now, like we've done with all the other guns, I'm just going to clip this off the handle because that's going to be inside of his hand, so you're not going to see that. And make sure it's smooth. Glue there, glue there, and we want that part in his hand. Should go right there. All right, very cool, very cool. I do like that gun. It's just pretty stinking awesome. And so now he's got a kind of like, I'm a Terminator look. He's got a kind of, where we are. Okay, sorry. Okay, now, how do I attach this to his hand? His hand's not open, so I can't just like slot it in there. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my other hand, and I'm going to figure out how it's going to look. And if I do this right, and I don't screw it up, place the hand over where I want it to go, and then I'm going to trim that piece out. And then I'll have a notch missing here, which is just wide enough for his hand, and then we'll glue it through the center of his hand. So his hand's like this, and we'll glue it on, and it'll touch here and here, and it'll look like he's actually holding it. Okay, so since the hand's basically the same, we get this one so I can go down. So if he was holding it with that hand, where do I want him to hold it? I'm just going to go ahead and have him hold it up against this part. And then how high up will I need to cut? I'm going to set that guy like right there. And then I'm going to mark that guy like right there. Okay, looks like that should work. So I will cut through there. And now I'm going to cut through that part. Alright, so just like that. Now I have a space where it'll fit just over his hand. Okay. So we're going to need to put a little glue on both sides. Get on both sides there. And doesn't look like I cut quite enough. So I'm going to cut just a tad bit more. Okay. I just reapply my glue. Should have measured that the first time, but well, we learn as we go. Alright, looks much better. Alright, that looks pretty cool. We're going to completely let that guy dry, but there you go. A Crusader 4 completely built. As easy as I could explain it. And hopefully this makes it easier for you as well. So, let me switch back. Alright guys, so hopefully this helps. Crusader 4 didn't take us that long. We about 20 minutes into it with the playing around with it just a little bit, plus some drying time, so maybe about 25-30 minutes to get him together. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you are enjoying this series. Heavy Gear Blitz, again, as I've asked the others, what force do you play? Like I've said, once I get New Coal and Peace River both put together so we can get it on the table, because that's what came on our starter box. I like the North and the South, but I'm really looking at the Black Talon. I really think I'm going to probably look at going into the Black Talon next. Probably just getting 150 point force. At the time of this recording, they are still on discounted price. So now's a good time to order them if you are looking to get into it, or looking to get into Heavy Gear Blitz, or looking to get maybe a new faction. So now's a good time to do that. I want to say their starter boxes are 20% off and everything else is like 10, but check the website. Sales going on until October 2nd, 2022. So at the time of this filming, it's on sale. Hopefully you catch it before it goes off sale. So anyway, thanks for watching as always, and again, have a wonderful evening. Bye now.